Hello and welcome to Eastern Roman history. The son of the Logotheti of the Genicon, come Emperor, Nikephoros I, Staurakios was a young man when his father became emperor in 802. Since on his father's coins he was never depicted with a beard, it is likely he was still a teenager when he became sole emperor in 811. His sister Procopia was married to a nobleman called Michael Rangabi, who was promoted to the rank of Kuropalates. On Christmas Day, 803, Staurakios was crowned as co-emperor and Nikephoros' heir. In December 807, Nikephoros arranged a bride show to provide his son with a suitable wife, selecting Theophanes, a relative of the Empress Irene, which united his house with the former imperial dynasty. In 808, Nikephoros and Staurakios campaigned in the Balkans, probably more to introduce his son to military life than anything strategic, other than overseeing the conquest of Upper Thrace. Staurakios then accompanied his father and half-brother in the fateful Pliska campaign in 811, where, despite the general success of the campaign, defeating two large Bulgar armies and sacking their capital of Pliska, the entire Eastern Roman army was destroyed, and Staurakios was left mortally wounded. The now sole emperor Staurakios retreated with the remains of the army to the stronghold of Adrianople. The emperor had suffered a spinal injury and had blood in his stool, leaving him paralyzed from the waist down. The magister Theophanes and others urged Michael Rangabi to take the throne instead, since he was unharmed, but Michael refused out of loyalty to Nikephoros and Staurakios. Then, the two most important surviving officers, Theophanes and Stephen, domesticos of the Scolae, proclaimed Staurakios as emperor. On the 28th of July, 811, Staurakios addressed the troops at Adrianople, and in a speech, he criticized his father for rejecting his advice at Pliska to break out of the valley at all costs, a move which might have preserved the army. After this speech, the army announced their support for Emperor Staurakios. I would like to thank my generous patrons for their support, and if you enjoy this video, please like and subscribe for more content about the late Roman and Byzantine Empire. Stay notified using the bell, and now let us continue. Staurakios prioritized establishing his authority and arranging for the succession. The Patriarch Nikephoros asked for the money collected by the Emperor Nikephoros from the church to be returned. Staurakios refused and said he could only return 300 pounds of gold, some 21,600 numismata, in installments. Procopia, the sister of Staurakios, wanted her husband Michael to become emperor. However, Staurakios' wife, Theophanes, thought that she should become empress, like her relative, Irene. Staurakios stalled for time, but that was not a luxury he had. Rumours spread in the capital that Procopia was poisoning Staurakios, and finally, in September, Staurakios named Theophanes as his heir. Most of Staurakios' officials did not agree and sided with Michael. On the evening of the 1st of October 811, Staurakios summoned Stephen, domesticos of the Scolae, and asked him to arrest Michael and blind him. The domesticos asked the emperor to wait because the palace of the Mangana, where Michael lived, was too well guarded and defensible. Stephen left after being sworn to secrecy. He summoned the tagmata, top ministers, and Michael Rangabi to the hippodrome and organized a coup. At dawn the following day, they proclaimed Michael as emperor. Staurakios heard the proclamation and summoned his relative, Simeon the monk, who helped Staurakios abdicate and become a monk. The patriarch, emperor, and empress came to the palace to explain that the coup happened out of concern for Staurakios. The former emperor said in response, "You will not find in him a better friend." The Empress Theophanes also retired to a monastery and became a nun. On the 11th of January 812, Staurakios died of gangrene from his wound, and was buried in the Brubaker monastery. And this has been Eastern Roman history.